We'd like to welcome you guys to the show. Today it's called CryptoCrats. It's the new show for you guys that's just viewing in. First of all, I like to appreciate and thank you guys for viewing into the show. This is something new that we're bringing to our audience. Right now is a big time that everybody's investing in the stock market, in cryptocurrency. This is a time where everybody needs to get in to learn exactly what they're doing because it's a lot of things is going on. A lot of stuff are going on social media, a lot of stuff going on TV, and it's not good information. So today, we got two guys that has multiple years of experience, multiple years of investing in the stock market, and we're going to be teaching you guys on what's going on. So today we have my man Mike.
What's going on, people?
And we have my man Steve.
Hey.
So these are experts. These are experts. So if you see these guys in Houston, make sure you stop them wherever you are, right? So Mike, tell us about you. How do you know? First of all, give us an introduction about yourself.
So, name is Mike Morris, entrepreneur, business owner, investor, all of the above. How I got into, excuse me, investing, I started off in the stock market first, about 14 years ago. And actually, Steve here, actually introduced me into crypto about 7 8 years ago.
Okay.
And when he introduced me, I actually didn't get in till like 2 or 3 years later. But that's how I got into investing, because it was back then it was too speculative to where you really didn't know what to do. And right now it's easier,
Okay.
than what it was back then as far as investing in crypto. But yeah,
Okay.
that's the story.
No, Steve, what about yourself?
So I guess I kind of started in the stock market probably around the time I was in like maybe it started college, like around 18, 19. And, I just started buying stuff that products I used. I wore Nike shoes. I bought Nike stock.
Okay.
Things like that. Just not really knowing what I'm doing, but know they make a good product. I like it. So why not invest in them? I'm already spending my money there.
Yep.
And over the years, that turned out to be kind of a good move long term. I guess going back to your question, introducing myself, I describe myself as an entrepreneur. It's kind of, I have my hands in a few different things, so that's probably the easiest way to describe it. But I started investing in cryptocurrency back in about 2013, 14, kind of that time span.
Okay.
And it was really more of I'm just back then, even now, I'm just always scouring the internet. Anything that I find interesting, just kind of diving into. And at the time, the way people were talking about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, it was just pretty interesting. So I just kind of fell down a rabbit hole and just a lot of research and kind of just took a shot in the dark.
Okay.
And ended up turning out, pretty well.
So I'm gonna ask you guys this: your backgrounds. What are your guys' backgrounds? Because I know a lot of people have backgrounds in the corporate arena. They have backgrounds in different fields. What made you guys get into investing in the stock market?
That's it's something that was passed down on, basically taught
Okay.
to me. And I'm Nigerian, so my dad have always been, he always invested in the stock market, invested in businesses. He was an entrepreneur.
So your dad was in it first. Okay.
So I kind of caught a whiff of that. It's still something you have to do yourself.
Okay.
Something you have to. It's like a fire. You might touch it, it might burn you.
Right.
But fire is really useful.
Right.
So this is the easiest way to create wealth, but it's a skill and a trade you have to learn. You can't just, they say it's hopium. You can't just put money in there and hope You know, it's going to go up.
Well, that's the thing, because that's the thing. That's a lot of people. What a lot of people are doing.
Correct. So there's a lot of people doing it. You know, and while we're collaborating to create this show, excuse me, it's because we see what's happening in crypto. So it's great. The actual case uses of these currencies or these assets in blockchain, they're great uses that can be used for it. But there's also a lot of speculation, and people see, you know, something going up and just going up. Well, usually, if something's going up that quickly, it means it's going to fall pretty hard. They usually say in the stock market, the prices go up. They walk up on the stairs and they come down on the elevator.
Okay.
So it will trickle up.
They go up fast, but come down.
Yeah, round. So
super fast. Yeah.
It's with the crash that just happened. You know, it was bound to happen. It's always bound to happen when you have a lot of buildup. There's going to be a lot of correction coming down.
So, Steve, how did you get into the stock market field?
It was really through I'd say my parents. My parents always invested in stocks.
Okay.
And you know, when my dad would drop me off at school, he'd have some cassette of some investing book that he was reading.
Okay.
Like on technical analysis or just more like Warren Buffett style investing, value investing. So, you know, I wasn't paying attention to none of that stuff when I was that young, but I mean, I was falling asleep on it, and it was I think it was setting in my head some type of way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until years later where you know, I kind of got caught in the cycle of looking at all the get rich quick.
You and everybody else. You wasn't the only one. Everybody else was doing the same thing, man.
Everybody, yeah. And you know, I bought into all that stuff and wasted a lot of money. And, you know, anyone peddling get rich quick, you know, products is you know, they're the ones getting rich at the end of the day.
Right.
It's all a sales pitch. But you know, even through all of those things, there are some kind of nuggets of information that you can apply. You know, there's a lot of truth in it. But the whole idea of getting rich quick, you know, I learned through my 20s that just it doesn't really work like that. It's you got to put in the hard work, the research, and if you're not researching stocks you're buying or cryptos you're buying, you know, you're gambling. So you can take that your same money and go to the casino. It's the same shit.
Okay. So you saying, okay, so from you saying get rich, because I know a lot of people, not many, but a lot of people invested money in certain markets and they made a lot of money fast. Right.
They keep the money.
So right. Okay.
There's no such thing as get rich quick.
Okay.
Because you could win the lottery.
Right.
Technically, you're rich, right?
For a moment.
That money respects. How do I put this? Money comes to people who are prepared for it.
Okay.
So I could literally give you $10 million and come back in 5-10 years, and you've probably blown all that money.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, you may get the money. You may get the money. You know, so you might put $10,000 in a coin or whatever, and it shoots up, and you sell, and you made a shitload of money.
Right.
Now, how do you keep that money? Because if you don't have the wherewithal of actually making that money grow, taking care of that money, I mean, it starts with the IRS. They already have 50% of that. Boom, that's out.
Right.
Okay, what are you gonna do now? Are you gonna?
That's the question right there.
That's the question.
What are you gonna do?
Okay,
with that?
I bought XYZ coin or stock for $100. Now my $100 is $2,000, which happens. So, okay, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna get $2,000. Now what do? You know, now I'm gonna have to pay taxes on that, right? So, you know, what's your plan after that? If you're gonna hop out of one investment, what investment are you gonna put that in for it to grow even? What's the better investment you're gonna put it in?
Okay.
Because a lot of times, is if you don't know what to do with a stock or a cryptocurrency, if you don't know what to do with, you know, you're a Bitcoin millionaire now, and you sell for millions. What are you going to do with your millions? Because first you're going to pay a shitload of taxes on it.
Okay.
So you better have another better investment that can grow at a higher rate than Bitcoin, or you feel more secure with your money in Bitcoin.
So So let me ask you guys this. I know we're jumping ahead, but I wanna bring it back a little bit. All right.
Okay.
So if a person that never ever had an opportunity, well, I can say opportunity because everybody has opportunity, but as far as to invest in a stock or invest into a coin or crypto, what is the process? How do a person how do you even do that? Are there apps? Are there what is it? Emails? You got to get a broker. How do you even get into that?
Oh, well, there's all the free apps, the popular apps like Robinhood.
Okay.
For crypto, Coinbase, um, even Cash App. Now you could buy stock and crypto on it. But I mean, before you even do any of that, is you have to know your goals. Know your why behind it. Why am I investing?
It's money, right?
Obviously, you want to make money,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but what do you want to do with that money? Because what you want to do with that money is going to depend on when you take that money out, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I think just understanding your goals, why you're doing those goals, would affect everything. Because you know, like this, like I'm about to buy some Facebook and Google stock. It's expensive stock, um, and I'm not going to be buying much of it. But
Mhm.
I don't expect it to be a get rich quick thing kind of
Correct.
thing. I'm going to be buying. I'm going to be dollar cost averaging, and I'll come back to that. But I'm going to be doing that for the next probably year or two. But my plans with Google, I don't plan to sell that until 20 years from now.
Yep.
Right.
So not everybody's plan is like that. Not everybody thinks of the market like that. So there's short term investing, there's long term investing,
Okay. So
and then two is after you have your plan, your goals, I think that's going to help you determine what type of stock you buy.
okay.
And then it's before you even hop in there, just understanding how the market works, and
Yep.
don't invest more than you're willing to lose.
So what does that mean? How does the market work? Like, because when we say the market, we thinking people that, well, you guys know it, but from the outsider that never ever invested, you say how does the market work? It's like a imaginary cloud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very vague to say that.
So
Right,
how?
but if you, this is where you learn the actual basics first of the
Okay.
market. You're able to read basic technical analysis, which I believe is extremely important. So, and this is something we could cover down the road
Mhm.
as far as what you should look for. Like just looking at the cryptocurrency market, anyone that has basic knowledge of technical analysis knows that everything is overbought, which means everyone is buying and is bound to correct,
Okay.
which means bound to drop. So if I'm just looking at that basic, I'm not buying anything. So, and people are like, oh, it's impossible. It's just gonna keep going up and going up and going up without correcting. So things like that, I believe everyone should learn, and this is what we'll, as we delve into this. I know this is the first show.
Yeah.
The goal is to kind of educate people on basic things to look for. You don't have to be an expert to know when a good price point is or know how the market is. The other thing I've mentioned, I think we mentioned this in the last podcast, is you never go into a trade without knowing your entry and your exit.
Okay.
Same thing applies to business. You never start a business without knowing your exit
Endpoint. Yeah.
strategy. So you have to know when your exit is. Like he said, he's buying Google and it's a 20-year plan. So that way, that insulates you from checking the stock market every day to see what Google is doing, because Google is going to drop and it's going to rise.
Go back up. Yeah.
Now, if he was a day trader and his entry goal and his exit goal is to enter lowest price and exit and make money and close a trade,
that's a whole different story.
That's a whole
It
different
goes back
ballgame.
to what I said. Know your goals. And
Right.
me and Mike have, we have kind of different philosophies, which is, going to be good because we'll have some contrast in this show that we're doing. I'm more of a long term holder.
Okay.
So, he's more of I would say you're more of a swing trader.
Yeah, swing.
So he's doing a lot of technical analysis. I do no technical analysis.
So what's the difference between a
I'm,
long term and a swing trader?
I'm researching markets, industries, companies, coins, and
Fundamentals.
I'm more doing the fundamentals. So I'm looking like what's the future in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 20 years,
Okay.
30 years. and I'm investing on that. So I'm buying stuff now to sell years later or a year later.
So you plan on selling it
eventually?
Yeah, everything has a exit.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's the purpose is not to keep it and pull money out of it.
Everything that has a beginning has an end. So
I would keep Bitcoin.
I would keep Bitcoin. You're right.
From just from what I'm reading and look, hey,
So what is Bitcoin? What is that exactly? We know the name Bitcoin. We heard it. We see it all in on Google and Apple. What exactly is Bitcoin?
I would say Bitcoin is, so the whole premise of Bitcoin is it's an application that's created on a blockchain.
Okay.
Which is decentralized. So I'll give you an example. The financial system right now in America is centralized. It's in Fort Knox. It's in the American government, right? Bitcoin is decentralized, which means the financial system, American government, it has to go through them. They have to, everything that happens is through them. Okay. Everything that's verified is through them. They make the money, they print the money. You can't come and say, hey, I'm creating this payment system because the American government has it locked down. There's a monopoly on that. With Bitcoin and blockchain, anything blockchain is decentralized. So
anybody could.
You have, it is so many, there's millions or I don't know how many nodes or whatever it is that will verify. It's a lot of them. So what that does,
they're doing the job the bank used to do. Or, well, the bank does now.
That they do now.
So it's a new banking system.
It's it's highly secure. So that's why it's almost impossible to hack, because that means you have to hack every one of those computers to be able to overturn whatever it is they're doing, which is almost impossible.
Right.
Okay? So that the security is way more higher than you would your normal financial system in the American government or any government per se. Okay. So that's one. Two is the speed of things. So in the using the financial system as an example, let's say you want to send money, and this is, I think Ripple does this. You want to send money, $50 billion. You can't just send $50 billion that quickly with your normal financial system.
Okay.
But with cryptocurrency, you're able, on the blockchain, you're able to send that, and it'll be more secure. No one can hack it. It'll be done within seconds to get to your destination anywhere around the world. So these are little, and it's still a little vague, but this is basically the basic premise to what, Bitcoin, blockchain, everything is basically decentralizing everything to where, it's more secure. Everyone has the ability to buy in, not like the normal financial system. So for the elite.
So from what I'm hearing, it's like you said, the term nodes, it's more of a chase digitally that anybody could invest into.
Yeah, the nodes. When I say the nodes, they're more like computers.
Okay.
So
okay.
You have, if you have,
so it's like hotspots.
Kind of like hotspots.
Centralized hotspots. That's private.
Basically, like what a bank does is they'll verify. They'll be the middleman on any transactions.
Okay.
They'll verify that, hey, we're taking this money from you and giving them, and I say it's okay. The bank
does.
So basically, what the bank saying okay, a computer is doing now. And these computers, like
without a credit check.
Yeah, without any of that.
Okay. Right.
But, I can set up my computer at home to it's the mining process to mine Bitcoin. When you're mining Bitcoin, your computer is basically just verifying transactions.
Okay.
And so they're doing the job of a bank, but it's not just one person doing it. Like if you mine it at home, you're not the only one. It's you and probably 100,000 now all around the world.
Right. And that's why so let me ask you guys this. Bitcoin, I know that was something that came out. So the future, do you think the future will have multiple Bitcoins?
Yeah, I think the future is going to be, there's going to be multiple
digital currencies.
Okay. That do different things. I think Bitcoin is, and I'm saying this now, today, 2021, whatever today's date is, but this stuff changes so much and markets change so much, and what people want and need, well, maybe not to me, but all of that stuff changes.
Right.
But this is what I'm thinking as of today, based on what I've read the past however long. I think it's going to be more like gold. This is my personal belief. Now, you can ask, 20 different people, you get 20 different answers of what they think. And that's another important thing. Like, no one's really right. No one's right about the future of cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
no one knows. And the same thing about predicting price. No one really knows. But I think there's going to be a certain use case for Bitcoin, and then what we transact with. Like, I'm not going to spend Bitcoin to go pump gas. I'm going to probably have some type of US dollar digital coin.
Okay.
I'm not going to use Bitcoin to maybe buy stuff on Amazon. Maybe I have an Amazon coin just for that, or some type of e-commerce coin.
It's too scarce.
So I think there's going to be special use cases for different cryptocurrencies in the future. So I think, me personally, and I'm betting on that Bitcoin is going to be more like gold, used to make
hold value,
and used to make like very large, trusted transactions.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this: for the people that's listening, what is something to look forward to with this new show that you guys are coming with?
I think, it'll be. There's a lot of information. Especially in our community, that we bypass because it may not seem as exciting. Right. But if you learn the stock market, if you learn markets like this, you could literally create generational wealth if you're disciplined. Because the market it's you could get in. A lot of people get in. There's a lot of people that have been burnt in this cryptocurrency drop.
Right.
And what I implore people is, if you lost money, first of all, just step away. It will eventually recover. So don't walk away from the market. The people who usually get burned are the people who put money they couldn't afford to lose in the first place. But in the show, we'll teach you, give you ideas of things that you need to learn.
Okay.
That will not only change your future, it could help change the future of your kids' kids. And sometimes you have to sacrifice, okay? You have to sacrifice, whether it's your good time, whether it's going out, whatever, because you start building these things, like Steve said, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And usually when you buy a stock, you want to keep it at least 5 years. I do both, so that I have long-term, but I also have swings, because you can get in if you know what you're reading, if you know what you're doing. You can get in, leave it for a little while, come back. It's like a ATM that's printing you money.
Okay.
You get out and you do the same thing. So these are skills you can learn that we'll be discussing. It's more informal, where we discuss these things, these skills, and people who have questions, we could cover these questions where they don't have to go pay $5,000-$10,000 for somebody to teach them. So I think that's what we'll be doing on the show.
That's dope.
Yeah, I think the main thing too is just plant seeds, just plant ideas. There's so much to learn about the stock market, first of all, and then cryptocurrency. It's a whole another rabbit hole. I just hope to motivate people to do their own research and know the value of doing their own research, and not just blindly
taking our word for it.
Yeah. So we just want to start ideas, start conversations, and answer questions the best we can.
So, last question before we get out of here. First time going into Robinhood or Coinbase, and I want to put $10. Well, say $10. Say $100. I'm sorry, $100. I want to put $100 in. This is a small gem, and we're going forward to the next show with this. Okay. Where should I go with that $100 right now at this present day?
Well, I want to first state that I'm not a financial advisor. Okay. On the internet.
Okay. What would you do? What would you put your money?
Okay. Steve, is I would split it up. I would not just go all in on one stock or coin. I'd put a little bit in Bitcoin, put a little bit in Ethereum, and then I would put some into some tech stocks. and I would do a little. I would probably put the rest in like a S&P 500.
Okay.
To balance it out.
Okay.
The S&P 500 is just the safe bet. It doesn't make you. It's not going to make you rich.
It just keeps that 8% coming.
I think last time I read the average that fund has been set up has been over 20 plus years, I believe. Feel free to Google and check that on me. But the average return is like 7%. Yeah. Oh wow! So it's the top
stable.
That's way better than the bank.
Yeah,
bank only give you 0.8%. So
you want to diversification is key.
Mm-hmm.
So that $100 you put in, 30%, 35% S&P 500, then split some in 20% in crypto, and then the rest in some tech stocks, maybe some real estate funds. Dope. So this is going to be an interesting show, something to look forward to. You guys, I'm going to call you guys the gurus. That's all right? Can I call you guys the gurus? Nah, don't call me a guru.
I'm going to call you a professional. I'm going to call you the investing professional.
Because Steve is real conservative. I'm like, boy, I'm not.
Okay.
So if you gave me $100, first of all, if we would have put that in the stock market, I would have picked a ETF.
So you're not a financial advisor.
I'm not a financial advisor as well.
Yeah. This is what Mike would do. Right.
This is what I would do. I would put it in an ETF. Okay. And the ETF, whatever ETF it is, whether it's ARK or OGIG, whatever it may be, I would find the stock, my favorite stock in that ETF, and I also split that. Because when you don't have too much money, you don't want to spread, in my opinion, you don't want to spread too thin.
I got you.
Yeah,
I like it targeted. So what happens, what I do is, let's say he likes Google. I like Google. Google is also an OGIG, so which is an ETF. So I usually buy Google 50% and buy the ETF 50%. And what happens is when Google goes up a lot, it usually raises the ETF because Google is a big portion of any ETF really.
Okay.
But when Google drops, it doesn't drop as much because there's a whole lot of other stocks in the ETF. So that's what I would do if you have a target, is when you have a lot of money, then you can start spreading it out a little bit more for safety.
I think it goes back too with that $100. What do you want that $100 to
do? That's true.
What's your plan? What's your goal?
You just want to sit on that $100 and forget about it.
Most people, like you say, you guys said earlier, I think everybody that goes into the market now, they want to make a little money. And not big money. They might want to make $2,000 off of that 100 and pull it.
That would be big money.
Right. That's what 200% or something like that, right?
Yeah. That's a high. Yeah.
Right.
They have to be very cautious. Anybody that's going into the market should just make quick money.
It's not going to work like that.
You got to look at it like, am I going to be a trader?
Yeah, that's.
Am I going to be a swing trader, or am I just going to be a passive investor? If I just want my money, like, am I going to look at it like a 401k? For those who have jobs with, a 401k access, you're just automatically putting that in every month. It's being handled well and blah, blah,
right.
blah. You think it is, but
it's the same thing.
A more passive, super passive investor. So if you're cool with something like that, then you can just put $100 in Robinhood and go for like S&P 500 and just
some safe.
Do more of what I was saying.
Okay, long term.
If you're looking to hit a lick, then you better be reading the news, studying the market.
Okay,
because the stuff moves off the news.
Moves quick, and that's what your 401k. I can't stand 401ks.
Oh.
That's all they do. They take your money.
There's nothing.
They invest it for you, right?
That's funny. They just give you 10%.
Right.
These guys are making 2,000+%.
Wow. So
you're giving them that money because you don't want to take time to learn. So you don't have to be as good as they are. Mm-hmm. You can learn and be making 50%, 70, whatever it may be. Not 2,000%, or that's a big gap.
That's a big gap.
2,000%.
A better investment is maybe keep that $100 in your pocket and just pretend like you put money in the market and see what happens in 2 weeks,
right?
In a month. Many people don't want to do this, but I believe in keeping a little bit of cash. I like to have an emergency fund.
I got you.
And really, before I know haven't gotten there yet, but before all of this investing in markets and blah blah blah, do you have debt? Do you have credit card debt? Start paying that
Pay that
first.
shit off.
You're
Yeah.
losing money on that, period.
Right.
2, do you have an emergency fund set up? Can you survive if you lose your job or something happens? Can you survive 3 months? Do you have enough money in the bank to survive 3 months
Yep.
that you can access quickly? So maybe not putting that in the S&P 500.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I believe in having just quick money to access for emergencies. So I think having those, try to knock down your debt, have that reserve money, and then you start looking into investing.
And to tie in, because there's different levels to it. Because once you start investing heavy, and you have a good portfolio, you could actually have a line of credit. I do this all the time, to where I don't have to liquidate what I have.
So you pull from your line.
So the brokerages will give you a line of credit to where you don't have to liquidate your stocks. You just go buy what you're buying, and that money keeps going up.
Okay.
Versus you selling, because when you liquidate, you don't have a tax liability that you have to deal with.
Right.
You have the cash to deal with the emergency, but remember, you have a tax liability to deal with. So that's
you got to pay capital gains.
Yep.
Okay. So guys, everybody that's out there that's viewing, you see what we're looking forward to. You see what the show is going to be about. You see the information that we're going to be giving for free. I said it, I'm gonna say it again. The information that we're gonna be giving for free. So you guys better apply this, and you guys better tell some other people to start viewing into the CryptoCrats. This is the show that we're going to teach you exactly where to put your money. Again, disclaimer: we're not saying that we're stockbrokers. We're not saying where to put your money. If it was us, this is what we'll do, and we're gonna just talk about what's going on in the market. So, guys, I appreciate you guys for viewing the show, tuning in. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. This is Adam,
Steve,
and Mike.
You guys have a good